I am so excited to have you here for a very special interview. Artisan Home Resorts transforms estates using a creative and intelligent design process. And today, you are in for a treat. We're here with a very special interview with internationally recognized artist Archie Held. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast today. How are you doing today?
Great, great. Happy to be here.
Oh, awesome. Now, I am so excited to have you here. You'll see we have this really fun video where you're actually featured in a UPS commercial talking about the process of how you create these incredible sculptures. But you're known for creating elegant and tranquil sculptures that come from stainless steel, bronze, something think big, bigger than what most people could even imagine. And it creates this welcoming statement in the home. So it is so exciting to have you on the call today and have you collaborate with Artisan Home Resorts to create these incredible home resorts for our clients. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that I love so much about the time that we've spent, talking is that how much you enjoy being involved in this collaborative process of creating a sculpture for somebody. So in our case, we're talking about these really beautiful backyards and these multi-million-dollar estates, and you actually go out and meet the people and talk with them about what they're looking for. Is that right?
Yes, I do a lot of large public commissions and, for corporate buildings and things like that. But what I really enjoy are working with families, residential commissions. It's just really fun to meet people, find out about their lives, and, create something with a very special meaning for them. And I really enjoy that. It just seems that as I have new clients and make something for their home that is maybe as some statement about their family, I have a real connection. It just seems like my family gets bigger all the time.
I love that. It really epitomizes, what you bring to the table. You're not just creating a piece of artwork. While you are creating artwork, you're creating a community, a family. You're connecting with them on a level much more than what somebody would imagine maybe for a commissioned piece of artwork. So I love how you bring that to the table. I'm going to go ahead and switch over and show some of your website here in a moment, but tell me a little bit about, your ideal kind of residential client and maybe even give us an example.
Well, oftentimes I go to visit, a client and I'll bring a portfolio and we can look at images and find out, sorry about that, find out which ones they enjoy, which, they get inspired by, one more than another, especially if I can have a husband and wife together or two partners together. And I can really get a sense of their taste, and then to walk the property with them and look at a place where they really want a focal point here or a special statement in exterior or inside their home as well. So there's just find a place where they've been really wanting something special for a long time. So for me, that's really an honor that somebody's been saving the spot for something, and they are inspired by what I do, and allow me to create something for their home.
Oh, amazing. Now, I know you have so many incredible examples of this. I want to start screen sharing and really showcase one of the best ways to get in contact with Archie Held is through his website. He has tremendous resources here to get you comfortable and aware of kind of what he's capable of so he can create something specific for your home. Now, in this case, you'll see it's kind of divided up through sculptures, and water walls. He also has a lot of public art and some custom furniture may be relevant for your home resort. But today, let's kind of hone in on maybe the water sculptures and the water walls. Artisan Home Resorts create these incredible home resorts where they use lighting and water and high tech and all of these different elements to really make a backyard transform into what is almost your favorite vacation resort, right? So in this case, you're coming in and layering in your sculptures and your water walls to take something that would already be above and beyond, but create that focal point, create that welcoming statement. So let's kind of just click through here, looking through some of these. Tell us a little bit about what do you think of when you're designing a water wall for someone, and how does that kind of start?
Yeah, well, usually, for a water wall, you've got a very specific place in mind. Certainly, it's an area. It's usually going to go against something. Some of them are freestanding. There's water on both sides. Act as a divider. Sometimes it's kind of a screen between a view that you have in maybe a neighbor's house, and then maybe you want to add some sound and kill a little freeway noise, and just have some ambient sound in your garden.
Oh, awesome. Now, this is one of my favorites here. This one here, you actually shared a story with me. And as you were telling me the story, I was secretly hoping, please tell me there's 5 people in the family. And it was so obvious. Of course, you made sure to incorporate the actual family elements in this design. Can you walk me through a little case study of what was this client struggling with when you met them? And how did that kind of, create this incredible piece of artwork for them?
Yeah, well, so this is a view of front of a house, a beautiful home in Hawaii. And as you walk past it, you could look right to the front door and some glass windows. And just to create a little bit of privacy, and then probably more to have a welcoming statement as you approach the home. They wanted to have, a wall with some water slowly moving down the surface, and that wall, it's kind of hard to see. It's raised up a little bit at the bottom, so the water drips off the wall into water in a bed of polished stones. So instead of just giving them a wall, finding out more about the family, and going through my portfolios, finding the forms that they like, I did some sketches, and like you said, I included all 5 members of the family. So there's just 5 elements representing the family members, and so they really enjoy it. As you walk on a path towards the wall, so that's what you're greeted by, and you make a little jog to the right, and then walk towards the front door. So there is water on both sides of that wall, and then as you reach the front door, I've taken 2 of those elements from the wall and used them as door handles. So just really ties it in with the house.
Oh, amazing. It really creates a custom feel, integrates the family, gives them a place to not only have a welcoming statement when you walk up, but a piece of tranquility for their home, a reflection of who they are, something to connect them to the property, to nature. So this has so many really amazing ripple effects for this family. One of the other things I wanted to kind of click through here were how you're doing some of these other elements and doing some custom content as well with water. So over here, one of my favorites was a story you had about a tennis player of all things. Do you want to walk us through kind of how this very custom, very distinct piece is so important to the client and what she went through?
Yes, it's a very special piece for me, and it's hard to tell this story without tearing up. So this is a client I met with, a wonderful woman, and she, walked me out into the backyard. There's this area that she liked to go and maybe sit and read, or, write letters, and have a little bench out there. I was just thinking, one of your pieces would be great here, just the sound of the water, and it's a special place in a beautiful yard. And as we were out there, she told me this incredible story of her being a professional tennis player on the European tour. And the pressure was really getting to her, and she was having, a nervous breakdown. So she walked out of her hotel and walked along the beach, and found a little cave and spent the night there. And she got up the next morning, and it was in a little cove somewhere in Greece, and she swam in this cove, and she'd use her arm to show me, I would just swim around this cove, and I foraged for food, and I slept in this cave. It's like everyone thought she was dead. She said it was, practically she was there for a month, which I don't know how she survived that. But it was obviously something that was a pivotal point in her life, and had meant a great deal to her. So what she brought me out to the yard was, you know, to propose some monolithic piece, or, you know, maybe a small grouping of pieces that had to do with the family or something. And but I couldn't get that story out of my head. And I came back in a few weeks with some sketches and proposals. And then I had made a model of this piece. And it was in a, you know, like a big cake box or something. And I opened it up, and she started crying. She knew exactly what I had created, just, you know, kind of this piece about this epic journey that she was on. And the husband looked at it and said, "No, not that. That's too big. We don't, you know, we don't want that. You know, just incredible poker face." I found out later. And then I proposed the other ones, and she looked at me like, "Oh, you know," but acknowledging that I had really listened to her, and not that she was asking for this, but, you know, I found out a little bit more about her. So anyway, we went through the rest of the designs, and I returned to my studio. And when I got there, there were several messages from the husband saying, you know, "I know she told you her story, and it's incredible. I want that piece." And it was 3 or 4 weeks before Christmas. He goes, "Can you give me that model so I can give it to her for Christmas?" And he did, and you know, I can't even tell you that story because it was just very powerful. And so that's the finished piece. It's bronze. I think it's about 10 inches wide, and you can walk inside. So there's a little grassy area in there, and the whole thing. I think if you straightened it out, it would be 40 feet long or something like that. But it's it again, it floats above this reservoir that I made into there, and was sunk into the grass. And so there's this little drip edge on both sides, and it's a very melodic sound. It's like being near a little natural babbling brook. And just to go in the middle and sit there is very, you know, very meditative spot. And that's just a very special commission. So,
Oh, I mean,
but
this, you can't get any more specific, right? When you look at this piece, it is large and in charge, right? But you want to know the story behind it. And what you've done is you have created something tangible that captures a transformation that she went through, right? You took the surroundings that poured into her during her you know, breakdown, and really created something that she can recoup and rejuvenate on a daily basis, hourly basis, moment by moment. If she wants, she can go in the backyard and have that same experience, and reconnect with nature and be grounded and have it all around her. I'm sure this allows her to be a better professional athlete, a better wife, a better friend, you know, write more thank you notes, all of these things because of your artwork. So you really have made a tremendous impact in her life. And I wanted to showcase this one in particular because it really says, I'm listening to what you need, and I'm going to create something custom for what is important to you. And that is what you do on a day-to-day basis, and why we're so excited to be able to work with you, Archie. So thank you so much for sharing that story. I know it is so heartfelt. It is hard to tell it without getting choked up. I know. So again, I just really want to thank you for that. Throughout this process, you know, Artisan Home Resort is designed in a way that we help your projects come to life. So what we do with Artisan Home Resorts is we use 3D animation to listen to what you want and be able to put together a 3D design so you can see your design in action. We also work with engineers and artists like Archie Held himself to be able to streamline the process and be able to help move forward on all fronts and get your project completed on time and within budget, right? So if you see something, if you're watching this and you see something that inspires you and you want to commission your own specific piece of artwork, Archie, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you?
well, I think the best place to start is to go to my website and take a look and see if you're inspired by what I do, if there's something that would fit the style of your home, and inside or outside. So it's very very versatile. The water pieces that go inside don't splash. So it's a very fun process, and don't feel like you have to pick something off the website, as we just explained. That it's fun if I can make something that's really unique.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of not just picking something up off the website, there is a catalog. I'm going to drop that link down here in the links. So if somebody wants to see what you've created or what is possible or kind of a starting point, they should go ahead and get that catalog. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Or just peruse the website, and it's easy to share. So
awesome.
I'm dropping to start.
Awesome. And I'm dropping the links right here in the comments, specifically to the page for your water sculptures, for your water walls, as well as your sculptures. So those will be right here in the links as well. So again, if you want a special piece of artwork commissioned for your home, if you've been saving that space and you have some type of idea, Archie Held is more than capable to come out and learn about what you're looking for and create something very custom for you and your family. It will be sure to be a welcome piece of your home and a focal point that you will cherish for many, many years. So thank you so much for that, Archie. And again, if you're out there and you see something that inspires you and you think it's time to take action and get your home resort, I want you to also be able to begin filling out your questionnaire for Artisan Home Resorts. So we have a really fun questionnaire that will lead you through, where's your favorite place to vacation? What's your favorite colors? What do you like to do? And what that's going to do is allow Artisan Home Resorts to be able to start the process of creating your home resort. And ideally featuring a commissioned artwork from Archie Held. So again, get your questionnaire if you want to get started on your home resort, get your catalog or start on the website if you want to reach out to Archie. But this has been an absolute joy. Thank you again for being on the broadcast. Archie, I know you agree with Artisan Home Resorts. Rick Pendleton, CEO, is known for saying, that it is limitless what we can create for you, right? Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. So it is limitless what we can create for you. Reach out to Archie Held and get your piece commissioned, and reach out to Artisan Home Resorts to get your home resort. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks again for being here, Archie. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.